This is a short presentation on the revised ISD 728 attendance policy. My name is Ryan Johnson, and I am an assistant principal at Rogers High School. In March of 2016, ISD 728 hosted an attendance summit where over 100 school nurses, health clerks, school workers, principals, counselors, district office personnel, as well as county social workers and police officers attended. The outcomes of the summit were to develop an understanding of language around attendance, strengthen relationships with colleagues and community partners as a result of identifying strengths and weaknesses of policy procedures, and engage in conversations about practice and interventions regarding school attendance. The purpose of the revised policy is to better serve the growing and changing demographics of ISD 728. As a system, we will improve our ability to identify causes and respond to truancy and tardiness. This screencast will allow participants to, first, understand the rationale for the revised policy, and second, understand key changes. In an attempt to align our behavior, i.e. attendance, interventions to academic ones, the policy adopted removes the reactive and punitive measures of grade reductions and allows for prevention and tiered approaches. Our goal should be to educate all stakeholders, train staff and students, and implement an effective policy. The research by organizations including Attendance Works has demonstrated that prevention and proactive approaches are more successful than punitive or consequence-based policies. Academic consequences for behavioral infractions were not changing the student behavior. It is with this policy that we usher in an emphasis on relationship building, a tiered response to truancy, and increased collaboration with families and county agencies. A multi-tiered approach encourages school teams to monitor data to determine chronic absenteeism, engage students and parents, recognize good and improved attendance, provide personalized early outreach, and remove barriers to attendance. Ultimately, as a team, our efforts will be focused on identifying the root causes, school, economic, family, personal, that are preventing students from attending school and thus respond accordingly. Much of the policy is similar to the previous one, which included a purpose, general statement, definitions, and consequences. The revised policy is much more positive than punitive in language and nature. The revised policy elaborates on the responsibilities of students, parents, teachers, and principals in tracking data, training staff, and communicating with families and government agencies. For training, it is my recommendation that the actual policy language be used, read or put into a visual, etc., to outline and clarify all stakeholder roles. It is also advised that this training occur on an annual basis. The policy clearly defines and aligns excused absences and tardies, as well as clearly defines and aligns unexcused absences and tardies. Furthermore, the language is aligned to state statute. The revised policy removes the constraints of specific consequences and allows for a multi-tiered approach, provides for more fluidity regarding interventions and procedures. It allows us to get better getting to the root cause of absenteeism and tardiness and more effectively address the behavior. Several resources have been created to aid the procedural implementation. It is strongly recommended that all schools assemble a team, for example, a principal, an attendance secretary, health clerk, licensed school nurse, and/or counselor, that meets regularly to discuss matters of tardiness and absenteeism. This monitoring, tracking data will lead to a more effective result in increasing attendance and punctuality. In the cases where the improvement is not realized, the policy lays out clear steps to Tier 3 interventions, which involve outside agencies such as county and/or social services. To recap, the revised policy has clear roles and definitions and aligns to truancy language to statute. The policy opens up the opportunity to better monitor data, engage students and parents, create a system that recognizes both good and improved attendance, provides personalized outreach, and removes school, economic, or personal barriers to attendance. Our process and procedures will be created by school teams and guided by tools, handouts, tips, and resources created by Attendance Works and the Attendance Committee that help bring this policy forward. There will be a separate screencast for those resources. Thank you for watching.